These days, many have a very busy lifestyle that's full of distractions and often results in forgotten, lukewarm coffee. Something that happens far too often whilst making these reviews. But there is a solution: mug warmers, something I have already reviewed, and technically they do work if you find the perfect cup. Back then, I couldn't find a single flat bottom mug, which could be partially because of the unspecified virus of unknown origin. And even after finishing that review, I never really gave up searching for the one that might work. And I have checked hundreds and hundreds of mugs ever since. I guess the claim that they work with 99% of the mugs is just an unfortunate mix-up and the language barrier. They tried to warn us but made a mistake. Just like Ulanzi with their crap tripod, which is actually pretty good, and I'll be reviewing it on my channel. And yeah, they did fix it. So yeah, mugs. In 2 years, I found just two that would probably work, not counting the aluminum travel outdoor variety, and there is no guarantee that any of them would actually perform. And since the problem seems to be finding the right mug, then mug warmers that come with a mug should work, right? I mean, they don't have an excuse not to. But since I'm a conscious consumer and live in Ukraine, I wanted to make sure that they actually work. So I spent hours and hours on YouTube watching reviews. Most are just compilations of promo videos, mixed in with some brain dads who can't use a thermometer. Guess no one cares if they actually do. Let's just farm affiliate revenue. In the end, I just got the most popular one on AliExpress with tens of thousands of orders. And it does have a bunch of international reviews, some lasting half an hour without actually pouring any damn water into it. I also got lucky and scored, or rather bribed myself into, a promotional mug warmer from a local gas station with Qi wireless charging that can also fuel your phone and is riddled with LEDs. And while both serve the same basic function, keeping your drink warm, they do it in a totally different style. One sleek and modern versus the more rustic and traditional. Comes bundled with accessories and packaged like a gift. Armed with a Type K thermocouple and camera, I started testing. Mug, pre-rinsed mug, lid mug pre-rinsed, repeated with the heater, and just my 2 regular mugs for good measure. Only after spending multiple days filming, rewatching, and manually entering the data, I questioned myself about the temperature of the water, since I doubt you would be waiting, Hachiko style, near the kettle to pour it seconds after it finished boiling. So I went out on a quest. As you might know, Ukraine is currently being invaded and we have regular blackouts. So I got into one of the fanciest heating centers out there. But unfortunately, for my testing, they only had boiling hot water. Can't really complain about that. Next stop was a super modern gas station with coffee prices like in a cafe. Which reminds me, tips and donations are very welcomed. My PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee are in the video description. Obviously, I had to try an actual coffee shop with a proper machine, barista, and ceramic mug, as well as a paper one, just to see if a lot of heat got absorbed into the cup. Lastly, I needed something I was sure was the same around the world, and McDonald's was the answer, as they're pretty strictly regulated. That's 27 to 37 degrees. Huge. Well, if it was true to its word, then it wouldn't even matter. But even in the best case scenario, pre-rinsed with hot water with a lid on the heater, it failed to keep the floor temp at 55 degrees. The mug will take some, and the warmer needs time to heat up. Speaking of the warmer, the design is genius or stupid, as an empty mug placed on the warmer doesn't trigger it. Finally, the moment of truth. And while the starting temps weren't ideally equal, it's super close and shouldn't be a big deal, right? The x-axis is time. I took readings every 30 seconds. We only started to see the warmer actually being on top when approaching the ideal temperature, but it only gave us an extra 30 to 60 seconds. Wait, what? You mean I have to ideally position, waste electricity, buy a power brick, as well as the damn thing itself, and it only gives me an extra 30 seconds? And that's only if I didn't even take a single sip? Something's wrong. Well, I used 3 different probes and measuring instruments, as well as multiple power banks and power bricks. So let's see how the numbers compare with all the options straight from a boiling kettle. And the worst performance came from... wait, what? You must be joking. Mug with the heater. The probes are within EU requirements for K-type thermocouples. The ambient temp varies, but just like 1-2 degrees max, which could only mean that this thing is utterly useless. When I finished my first video, I emailed a dozen manufacturers offering to test and review their products, as they had none. And back then, I thought they ignored me because of my small channel size. Except they offered me a promo code. Ooh, where my manners. Name's Alex Train, and I tried to do my best to test and use the product, and spend more than 10 minutes thinking what potential customers would be actually doing with it, not just drooling over fancy packaging or design. So if you want real reviews and not just marketing gibberish, support me. Donate, like, share, comment. And it's good to have another one to test out or the video would be over. And it actually showed promising results, at least with boiling water. The included charger is indeed Quick Charge 3.0, and the device takes 2.5 times more power than the gift mug. But only after testing it a dozen times. I usually do at least 3 tests just to see if there are any outliers. I found that the LEDs are a necessity, as improper placement would mean that the heater is not working. Only when it's pulsating red, that means you nailed the positioning. Here are some more measurements. The bed placement was done by imitating, sipping, and then placing the cup in an improper way, aka putting it on the warmer without actually paying attention. The malfunction, on the other hand, is from me doing human-like tests by actually using the mug as you normally would, washing, accidentally bumping, or placing it more roughly on the warmer. If you look closer, the warmer has these small holes, and it's only a matter of time till a little bit of water gets into them. A single drop pretty much killed it. It no longer charges my phone or heats my mug. Letting it air dry for 2 days didn't help either. The LEDs just keep blinking and blinking. And for €50 retail, I expect better, not this crappy design. And what's funny, some brands in their own promo material show that they fail, or say use double wall glasses, which by design cannot possibly work, as the whole point of these is to insulate the drink from the outside, which is actually a good idea. If you pair one of those with a Xiaomi Viomi vacuum pot that you don't have to unscrew, you get an alternative solution that actually works and keeps your coffee hot for a whooping 24 hours. Obviously, this is not as convenient as an actual mug warmer, which I have yet to find. So if you produce a good one, send it to me. I'll put the spotlight on it. I mean, I'm already obliterating your competition. Alex Train, signing out.